Hi, and welcome to the Colledge Facebook Live session. Woohoo! Um, my name is Kelsey Tarosian. I am the admissions manager at Colledge, which is a private, independent admissions advisory group operating mainly out of Pasadena, California. Um, my history, just so you know a little bit about who you're listening to. Um, I am a longtime educator. I've worked all over the world and all over the world of education. I've done everything from be an SAT and ACT tutor to run a very high level program at a school in Pasadena. I've also run a program in Turkey. So I'm really truly an educator at heart, and I'm so happy to be speaking with you tonight. So I also work very closely, very deeply with my amazing colleague and owner founder, Jenny Umhofer. She is also a long history in admissions, and she's worked at places like Scripps. She worked at Caltech. So she really knows her stuff, and she has been an independent educational consultant for the past 10 years. She's a, very well-known, very well-regarded member of NACAC and WACAC. So as you can see, you're in very good hands here with us. A little bit about what we do. So we are a group who works with students and families on their college admissions process, anywhere from the very beginning, when they may be as young as seventh graders, all the way through until they deposit at the school that they decide they're going to go to. So it's really exciting work. We work very, very closely with these families, and we really tailor make our services to match every single individual student, helping them figure out where they're really going to fit, where they're going to thrive, and answer all of their college questions and help them just grow as learners and grow as people who are going to be, running our society pretty soon. So I just want to tell you a couple of little things. What we're gonna do tonight is I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the higher education world right now, give you some news, and I want to talk a little bit to families who are wondering, what do I do now? How do I do research? How do I move forward? So first of all, I want to let you know we have these amazing free online Colledge talks that are coming up. The first one is on April 9th. It's for parents and seniors, and specifically parents of current high school seniors who are wondering, these decisions are coming out, how do I decide? We have a second one that is geared towards, that one is called Your College Decision Tools and Tips. If you look in the name of this Facebook Live session, you'll see there is a link to the Colledge Talks. And you can check it out on our website. You can go and RSVP, and you can attend completely free online. It's just something we really want to reach people in the community right now in this challenging, wildly fluid time that we're all dealing with. I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to give you some news. I want to tell you a little bit about another Colledge talk that we're giving on the 23rd, which is geared towards parents and juniors, and specifically parents of current juniors, which is called Making the Most of College Planning from Home, since obviously that's what we're doing right now, and for the foreseeable future. So I'm so excited to talk about this because one of the things I love talking about most to students and to families is how to really make your own reality, really make your own opportunities. And often when something shuts down, that actually offers you a huge silver lining for a student to explore and grow and really cut themselves, a cut above the rest. So about this time of year is a time when all of the college decisions come out. It's a time when families and juniors are really trying to find out, where are they going to apply, do that research. There's nothing different about that. That's still going to be what's happening right now. And we have all the decisions. The final decisions will be coming out by April 1st, so just in a couple of days. What obviously is different is the landscape and what we're currently up against with coronavirus, and the fact that we're not able to just go to a campus and check it out or go to an admitted students event. We're not able to necessarily, connect in those ways that we normally would. And I want to give you some thoughts about how to get that information that you need to help your child really, make a decision that they're going to be confident in, and how are we going to move forward? And there's so many unknowns. So what can we do? And I really want to focus on that. So a little bit of news about what's happening. And for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Kelsey Tarosian. I'm the admissions manager at Colledge, and we work individually with students and families who are trying to get into college, no matter what age they are. So the first thing that I know is on everybody's mind is tests and test planning, because we're up against an unprecedented number of test cancellations. And hopefully you all know that there's also a huge change happening right now with the AP test. So if you haven't heard, the AP is going to be confined to a 45-minute test, so it's not going to be 2 hours like usual, and it is going to be given online at home. So they're trying to make it be as accessible for as many students as possible. So that's one of the reasons they're confining it. They're also committed to making it be accessible from any device that you might have. So you'll be able to access those tests for sure. So just keep your eyes peeled, keep on the Colledge Board website, and make sure that you're seeing all of the up-to-date information. But unfortunately right now you can't sign up for the APs, but what you can do is you can go onto the Colledge Board website. There's resources there for free AP practice tests, so go check that out. Regarding SAT and ACT, they've canceled everything up to June. I think that that's going to continue the trend. They want to make those tests available. So just, sign up, proceed as you are. Definitely continue with your practice, any preparation that you're doing. The thing to remember, parents, about this kind of test is that it isn't like other tests. It's not that you're studying a particular, math algorithm. It's that you are studying a skill set. And what that really means is you are practicing a skill set and a strategy set for those tests. What that means is this actually works in your favor in this case. If you can, with your daily practice, with your preparation, then it's probably not going to fly out of your head, right? Because you're practicing it in every day, just like you wouldn't forget how to play the piano after years of practice. You should definitely consider brushing up so that you're really fresh right before that test, but don't put a pause on everything just because the tests are being canceled. A couple of other pieces of good news for everybody. Schools are really thinking critically. They're full of real people who really want to help the real students and families who are applying and who want to go to those schools. More than 300 schools have extended their deposit deadlines, and more are extending every single day. Most of them are extending to June 1st from the traditional May 1st. Many schools are making various levels of moves away from standardized testing. So some temporarily, like Boston University, so they're trying to be really mindful of the fact that a lot of people are not going to be able to access these tests right now this year. But other schools are making that move permanently, and it's all a question of access. They're really wanting to be mindful of making sure that the entire United States community is able to access that, their school and being able to apply. And sometimes those tests are kind of inaccessible and they end up being an obstacle. We also have a little bit of information that Harvard has gone and put out there that they're not going to be penalizing students, seniors this year, who are not able to take those AP tests as planned. They're also going to be accepting pass, no pass grades for future students who apply. So this is all very good news. And just remember that, everybody's going through this together. So your student is not going to be penalized in a way that seems unfair, because, really this is our entire landscape. So what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about what you can do right now. There's a lot of things that you can't do. You can't access a campus. You can't go to an admitted students event. You may not be able to reach any of the admissions office on the phone, but there is still a whole lot of stuff that you can do. And in doing so, you can make a really strong decision if you need to, if you're a senior. Or if you're a junior, you can start to develop a really strong best fit college list. That is one of the things that we focus a lot on in our business, and I think that's why we see so much success. So just a little bit about us. We really focus on that best fit, right? So it's making sure that not only does the college really fit the student, but the student also should really fit the college. And believe me, when you're an admissions reader, which I probably forgot to mention that I am also a current admissions reader for one of the most highly selected schools in the nation, when you're reading, there's always a question of fit. It might be an amazing student, but then if it's a student that you're like, yeah, but you don't fit in here at all. Like, why are you applying here? That's not going to be a student that's going to do very well in the application process, even if they're an incredible student on paper and they have a whole lot to offer, and another school or 10 other schools would be thrilled to have them. So what is best fit? How do you develop it? How do you show it? And how do you show that you really love a school? So these are all questions that we're going to get into in a minute. But I just want to mention, I think that best fit is one of those things that is where you're going to see success rates raise. And I know that that's where we see it raise. So for example, the regular admit rate this past year, not this past year, right? Because we're still in that season, but the previous year for USC was 11.4%. It's amazingly low, right? From our students, we saw a whopping 42.4% accepted, which I'm super proud of. I'm super proud of all of our students that have gotten into some amazing places, but I can tell you that what it comes down to is choosing your list, is really making sure you're being smart about that, is really making sure that you're applying to the places where you're going to really thrive and where they're going to really want you. So let's get into a little bit of how do we make a decision right now? How do we come up with a best fit college list if we're at home? First of all, the first thing parents of seniors I want to tell you to do is come to our Colledge talk. It's free, and the other thing about it is we're going to be offering a really exciting discount of $100 or more off of an initial consultation where you can really get a deep dive with myself or with Jenny Umhofer, our owner founder. And that information is going to come in the 2 Facebook Live sessions that we have. We'll give you instructions on how to do it, so be sure to sign up and tune into those. So as you get those final decisions in and you are really excited to hear about, where you got in and where you could maybe see yourself going, it's really important, parents, to make sure that your kids start to analyze that data, do that research, and start the beginning of the decision process as early as you possibly can. Even with those extended deadlines, it's really important to start early because it is a process. You need to gather all of your information in, a usable format that makes sense to you. You need to come up with systems to rate it. You need to maybe you are more of a gut reaction type of person. You need to find out, like, how do you engage that gut instinct in a time when you can't go onto a campus? And even for the people who are more data-based, how do you get the three-dimensional information that you get on a campus tour if you can't go on a campus tour? So there are a ton of schools out there. Bard is a great example of one that is offering virtual admitted students events where you get to meet other students, where you get to interact with real people. Colleges are really doing their best to think creatively about that. And so definitely go look on those websites and find out where those virtual events are offered. You can do virtual campus tours. The other thing is, I like to say, there's a whole lot more information that you get out of an email, right? Out of a brochure even. You see a whole lot about how a school or a business is presenting themselves, and about you get some of that information, that intangible information that you can't necessarily get from Google as clearly. That is necessary sometimes for making those decisions because it's the more detailed, more finessed, finite information. So I would say start looking at all the information and all of the contact you've had with a school a little bit differently and thinking, how did I feel when I got this? Or what are they telling me about themselves if you're more of a data analysis person? I think that, it's really important to reach out to the school to make contact. A lot of schools are offering students the ability to connect with current students on their campus. So I don't want you to lose hope. There is a lot of hope out there, and we're going to be getting into that really deeply on the 9th for seniors and parents. So make sure you come, you tune into that. And even if you're thinking, gee, I don't know what's going to happen in the fall. I don't know if we're just going to have online learning, and I don't know, I don't want to pay big tuition bucks for that necessarily, or that doesn't seem like the right experience for me right now, or maybe there's a family health issue. Maybe you're considering a gap year. That's something that we also are going to have, we're going to address on that talk at the 9th. And we also have an amazing strategy plan specifically for students who are considering a gap year and not knowing how to plan it now that you may not be able to travel, you may not be able to do those traditional gap year things. So consider that. The gap year plan is a great option where you can get some real help and an infusion of a plan that colleges are going to accept, because right now they're going to get a huge influx of, people wanting to take gap years potentially. So make sure that you are really thinking strategically and setting yourself up to create a plan that they're going to accept, that they're going to say, yes, actually, it's fine. We'll defer you. You're accepted. You're in next year. Parents of juniors. So right now is an equally important time for you. It's the time that your kids really need to start thinking about where they're going to apply. And it might seem early because fall might seem really far away. But the thing is that it's really not so far away. And you don't want to put yourself or your student in a position to be incredibly stressed out come fall when school starts. And maybe we're still dealing with all of these changes and we're all still online. Or we aren't, and we're all excited about going back to school. And, then on top of that, have to write like 10 essays and manage a million different deadlines and, not know how to reach out to colleges and maybe have to do tests on top of that. So it's really important to strategize, and it's really important to think about it now. So in developing a best fit list, what you can do is you can start to do the research now, and you need to find out, the thing to know is that there is more than 2,000 possibilities out there. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of schools. And that's one thing. And knowing that huge a landscape is kind of hard. Excuse me. Okay, tune in 2 minutes.